After that I got them back, and I already here I am in silicone ring because my not the right way, because the other one is so big that when my ring guard fell off today, all I had to shake my hand once and it's down here, and it's been like it's cool. You can't get it with a single line.
Started to sign it.
Yeah,
February
that was
15th.
what I got.
The date, the 2/15.
Okay, and then like I said, the very next week she went to wherever she went to buy diamonds, and I'm like, it's okay, Paul, you're doing a great job.
Yes, you are. You keep it up.
Started in the old days when you were
More than anything, it wasn't even
I'm not.
because I remember specifically what you were saying, 3 seasons per life, but you don't want to do it too much.
It is 6 o'clock.
I vividly remember him saying, and she was like, oh no, that meant 3 sizes at any point in the life.
Good evening, everybody. It is 6 o'clock, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. Will you all join me in Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item C is adjustment to the agenda. Do we have any adjustments? No? Approval of minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of March 11, 2025 school board meeting as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? All right. Communications and correspondence.
I have 4 letters of resignation. First, Matt Downs, Ellsworth High School boys tennis coach. Nola Buchanan, Ellsworth High School ed tech. Abigail Black, Ellsworth Elementary Middle School ed tech. And Laura Johns, Hancock County Technical Center cybersecurity instructor.
Next, administrative reports. We're going to have Assistant Superintendent first.
Hi, welcome everybody. We love having such a great crowd here. My name is Nikki Chan. I'm the Assistant Superintendent. March has been a busy month, and March is one of our longest months, right? The stretch between February vacation and April vacation, where we've almost made it, a couple more days, and then we're really at the downhill slide of the year. But the past month has been certainly very exciting and busy with a couple of things that I'd like to highlight in my report today. So first, I'd love to just talk about and celebrate the community partnerships that we've been developing and strengthening over the last month with a couple of different things. The first project that we've really started to try to lay the groundwork for is our summer program. And so over the past month, we've done a lot of collaboration with the Down East Family YMCA, the Maine Outdoor School, the Grand, and Energy Management Consultants. As we've talked in the last couple of meetings, we put together an extremely large grant that's actually $250,000. Our fingers are crossed that we would receive that grant, and that would allow us to have a very comprehensive summer program and after-school program over the next several years at EHS and EEMS. So as stated, our fingers are crossed that we get that grant. But also we have plenty of backup plans, and these community partnerships stand strong with us so that we will be able to provide programming to students through these community partnerships even if we don't get that grant money. In saying that, I also would like to thank our ESEA coordinator, Lee Elliott, who has done a huge chunk of work on that grant, on that 21st Century Grant application. The other piece that I'd like to note about a partnership, again, several hours of work of partnership and planning with, again, the Down East Family YMCA regarding our pre-K expansion. We are essentially at the point, as long as our budget passes, that we will be able to expand 2 more classrooms and essentially have universal pre-K in our city, which is outstanding. And that has been thanks to a lot of preliminary meetings. We still have several, nuts and bolts pieces to work through, but a big thank you goes to Matt Montgomery, Courtney Wood, and Alicia Grindle for that work with us with that. The next thing I'd like to highlight is some professional learning. I continue to talk about professional learning in our district and how important it is to support our staff. and consistent work and learning in whatever topic that, you know, their job description brings them to, because we are not about one and done learning and just saying, oh, here's something that we want to work on or do, or is, you know, something about instruction, and then leave it. We want to continue to try to do that. And so what I really wanted to do today is highlight the asset that Avery Lane has been for us. We have recently had some very large trainings, and now that we have all of our furniture, and thanks to IT, we have a really great screen and setup. It is just extremely conducive to having large trainings, and you would think that a space doesn't matter as much as it does, but it certainly does. Recently, at the end of March, we had actually had a regional training, a literacy training, Shifting the Balance, where we had 25 people, not just from, we only had 3 from our district. So we had 22 other people in attendance from around Hancock County and also in Penobscot County, and they were all awed by our facility and just had a really great time learning about the literacy pieces that we were working toward. And also a big thank you goes out to Greg Berry, our food service director, because he was able to provide a great breakfast and a lunch. The facility allows for, you know, flow of people and traffic. Everybody in our office who just works there in general, from central office staff to adult ed, were able to do their jobs, and we all kind of were just able to operate in harmony and with those big trainings. So that's been great. And we followed that up. I know Mrs. Bowles is going to talk more about it, but just on the heels of that, we've followed it up with another large training in district, 25 people for CSTAG training. And the same thing. It just, the space matters so much, and it is going to be a great asset for continued learning, and I do believe that it also poises us to be a great leader in our county, and honestly and beyond, enable to host these type of trainings and really kind of show ourselves as leading the way and also supporting others around us, which matters because we are, you know, we are Ellsworth School Department, but we collaborate so much with others and our students cross districts, etc. And so I'm really proud of that work and really thankful for our facility to be able to be that amenable to doing that for us. And then the final thing I wanted to point out is that April Clifford and I were able to attend the University of Maine Job Fair this past Friday. That's always an exciting event where we're able to meet graduates, not just of University of Maine, but of Husson and EMCC, future teachers, ed techs, etc. And so I was proud of the display that we put on. It's really important as we build our brand for Ellsworth School Department and we showcase our strengths and the things that we're working on and the things that we provide teachers, because as we've stated multiple times, the game is getting tougher, and it is competitive in order to retain teachers and attract teachers. And so that was a great opportunity that we were able to take part in, and I was really proud of how we showed up, and we certainly came away with many resumes that we plan on calling immediately and hopefully snagging some great new graduates for our school district. So that's what I have for this month for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you. Mrs. Bowles?
So along that same vein, talking a little bit about community partnerships, it's something that is certainly a part of our strategic planning moving forward, trying to engage community partnerships to bring further success for students. And so want to highlight a few things tonight that have occurred since our last board meeting that showcases this a little bit. First, we continue to partner with the Ellsworth Chamber of Commerce, attending their Business After Hours event. And certainly, we are thrilled to announce that the Ellsworth Area Chamber of Commerce has made public that Hancock County Technical Center is receiving the Director's Award this year in recognition of its tireless dedication to shaping Maine's workforce through high-quality career and technical education. I was thrilled to be a part of a group, board members, myself, and board of directors from the chamber surprised HCTC staff members at a staff meeting to tell them about the award. They will be honored at their annual meeting on May 8th. Also special that evening will be recognizing Carl Lusby, a longtime Ellsworth administrator who is receiving the Citizen of the Year award for not only his time in the Ellsworth School Department, but also for his tireless service in the Ellsworth community. So those are going to be two really great pieces for the school department to celebrate. Also, two really good examples of the kinds of things that I think the school department needs to not only capitalize on, but do more of, are two events that occurred in late March, early April, which were our STEM night. I won't go into a lot of detail about that because they are going to talk a little bit about that tonight, but that was a wonderful showcase of what happens when you bring educators from across the district together in partnership with businesses and bring families into the facility to learn and what can happen. The school was busting that night. Parents are certainly wanting more of those types of things. It certainly has come out in strategic planning that families are really looking for engagement opportunities like that. So that was something that was, I'm really proud of, that our team pulled that together and did that, and look to see that. That was a huge growth from last year based on where they were a year ago and the number of businesses and opportunities they brought in for families. The second example of this was our Aspirations Fair that took place during the school day that Noontime Rotary helped put on in collaboration with EEMS, which also brought businesses in for students grades 3 and up to go and learn about careers. And this is something that certainly Hancock County Technical Center, has pushed the envelope on, trying to bring career and technical education into the lower grades, but to start really trying to fill the gap in the lower grades so that students and families learn more about what career opportunities are out there as it is ever changing. So those were just two really great examples of the school department, businesses, and families and students coming together. I also was able to attend the Empty Bowl Supper and Jazz Night at Ellsworth High School, and wow, we will honor some of specific people and groups in a little bit with regards to that. But the Empty Bowl Supper, not only was it a great display of pottery and art that our high school students do, but also that they took proceeds to help benefit our food pantry, which more and more we need donations for with our rising population of students that are in desperate need and homeless. This was a great event and a great showing of our community for the Empty Bowl Supper. And then the Jazz Night itself was phenomenal. I want to give a special shout out to the 4 middle schoolers who that night did show choir. Those 4 middle school girls rocked it, and I was so proud of them because we all know middle school is not always, it's a little awkward, let's say that at times for some kids. And for the 4 of them to get up there and do what they did, I was so proud of them and excited for them as everyone cheered. And all of our musicians and the wonderful things that they do. And going beyond that, the staff, the amount of growth I've seen in our music program the last couple of years has been outstanding. And we have amazing musicians, and that's because of our dedicated staff in those departments. So I just want to give them a shout out. That event was phenomenal. Also, this past Monday, we had our Choices Mattered program debut for the first time at Ellsworth High School. Freshmen and sophomores spent the day on college campuses, and then our juniors and seniors participated in Choices Matter, which was the replacement event for every 15 minutes. Really proud of the team that worked hard to pull this off. Michelle Osborne, our admin at EHS, our guidance counselors, our social worker, school nurse, the list went on and on. Greg Berry and his team for providing the food. But our juniors and seniors in the morning listened to a speaker talk about his experience with drunk driving and being the victim of that. He commented, as did others, on how wonderful our students were, how they asked insightful questions, and how well behaved they were. Students then had barbecue, great food by food service, and then in the afternoon participated in a Choices Fair, which again was local businesses, really highlighting all the different types of healthy choices that come with being a teenager. So I was really proud of the high school, and not only that, since then, we've gotten lots of compliments about how well behaved our freshmen and sophomores were on college campuses So that was a real testament to our student body as well. Last but not least, something the board has asked about in the past is CSTAG training. And everyone's probably like, what on earth is CSTAG training? Because education is notorious for their acronyms. So behavioral threat assessment is something that school departments have become more and more asked to do as we try to determine whether students are posing as threats when they, either participate in a low-level type of violence or we have mental health concerns for the student. CSTAG is a very specific training that helps teams look at evaluating whether or not a student poses a threat and what level of threat they are, whether it's to others or to themselves. This was the first time that I can remember, and I've been around a while, that we brought together admin from across the district in collaboration with our mental health team, which is our social workers, our school nurses, our guidance counselors, special education, IT, adult ed, and then all school administrators all participated together in the level 1 training, which is 4 hours. We have a follow-up training April 30th, so that we'll complete level 2. This is the recommended training through the Maine School Safety Center for us as we redo our emergency management plan. And so in talking to admin and our mental health team, both sides felt really, really strongly that it was awesome to all be in the same room, all learn the same language, all learn the same protocol, and how valuable it was. And level 2 will push us towards scenario work. So now you know the protocols, now you know the vocab, now you know the procedures. What's it look like when stuff happens, and how would you do that? Any questions? Okay.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, I believe, is committee reports.
We had policy committee, still just kind of working on reviewing policies and getting them updated. So we're actually going to be going over some of that in a little bit, so I won't go over too much repetitive. And the same with curriculum. We have a couple new courses we're looking into, but that's also coming up a little bit anyway. So both on the agenda.
And we can say the same thing about finance. Bev and I have been working on that sitting in on a lot of finance meetings for the budget.
So many.
And we're going to be voting on our budget a little later in this meeting. So we completed that process. And then likewise with personnel, we spent the greater part of this calendar year working, bargaining with specialists, but we completed that process and we'll be voting later on in this meeting on ratifying that agreement. Anything else committee-wise? Okay. Next is public participation. Anyone like to step up to the podium and? All right.
Seeing
You
none.
had your chance. All right, new business. First in new business is High Five Awards.
Who has the honors
Whose
this
turn is it?
evening?
I don't know, but I'll do it.
Okay, that was gonna.
All right. So the last couple of months, people were unable to attend, and so we have 5 award winners tonight for the High Five Award. The High Five Award is an award that the board established, that anybody from the community, staff, parent, student can nominate people that they feel go above and beyond in a variety of categories. And tonight, we have 5 very worthy candidates. I'm actually quite excited. I'm going to read tonight the actual nominations. They're really, really good. And so I want people to hear the nominees' words. You'll get a couple giggles over. So the first award winner, and what we'll do is we'll read the description, and then if the staff member could come up, and yes, you have to smile for the camera, you can come get your award. So first I want to honor English teacher from Ellsworth High School, David Castleman. Mr. Castleman creates a respectful and engaged relationship with his students, which in turn motivates them to do their best in classes. He keeps students engaged and excited about learning. He may be new to our district, but he emulates the mission of our district already. He does his best to make sure all students have the opportunities to succeed. His open line of communication with parents as well as students, trying to make sure they are meeting their goals academically as well as in extracurricular activities, is not matched by many at the school. I believe he knows how important it is to engage students on all levels of their learning and make sure they are able to seize opportunities that are important to them. I can't say enough about him. He is prompt to return emails to us as parents as well as as students. He's always working to ensure that those who want to succeed are making sure those that are not being successful, he is sure to tag them and get their work graded efficiently and fairly so they can immediately improve. When I reach out to him, I never wonder if I will hear back. I always do. Please help me congratulate Mr. Castleman. Next, Janet Bertrand. It is with great enthusiasm I nominate Janet for the High Five Award. She has gone above and beyond in her role as our EEMS math interventionist, demonstrating unwavering dedication to fostering a love for math among students and staff alike. She has transformed our school environment by covering walls and stairways with engaging math visuals, making learning an interactive, everyday experience. It is now common to hear students counting by tens as they walk down the hallways, reinforcing foundational math skills in a fun, natural way. When walking and talking with elementary students, I often see them enthusiastically practicing their multiplication tables and counting sequences, direct results of Janet's creative approach to math instruction. Beyond her daily intervention work, Janet plays a vital role as a member of the Math for Me team, working to ensure math is accessible to all learners. She extends her impact beyond the classroom by sending home newsletters filled with engaging math games, helping families support student learning outside of the school. She spends her time modeling for teachers and co-teaching math lessons in the grade 4 span. Her modeling and supporting teachers in their instructional practices to enhance the quality of math education across the school. Her passion, innovation, and commitment to student success make her an invaluable asset to our school community. She truly exemplifies what it means to go above and beyond. Congratulations, Janet Bertrand. This is when you're going to get a couple chuckles. So next, this person was nominated by an administrator as well as several students, and it's the student write-ups that are going to make you laugh. So Jacob Powell. Jacob goes above and beyond for every athlete. He always shows up no matter the weather, even though he has to drive from far away. He deals with a variety of injuries every day and goes above and beyond for all of us. He makes sure every athlete has a plan to improve the injury they have. Him also being an athlete kind of has helped us out a little bit. He knows the mental side that some of us struggle with when injuries occur and always takes that into account. He always made sure to check up on us and support us in any way he could, even outside of athletics. I cannot think of anyone else more deserving of this award in the whole district. He always thought of ways to make us smile or ways to help us recover faster than maybe we were even expecting. He has been a huge asset to our athletic department. He continues to help our athletes get healthy after their injuries. He's had numerous injuries this school year to deal with, and he's taken the time to care for each and every student athlete. Not only has he communicated with the student, he has gone above and beyond to communicate with parents, oftentimes getting them the service and care with hospital services they need as quickly as possible. He has had to deal with many heartbreaking injuries this year, but always did so with a smile on his face. Thank you, Jacob. Next, Matthew Musso. Did I say that right? Last name? Okay. It is my privilege to recommend Matthew Musso for his outstanding contributions as music teacher and band director. His dedication, encouragement, and leadership has had a lasting impact on our school community. He has cultivated a culture of high expectations within the beginner and concert bands, setting a standard of excellence that students consistently strive to meet. He has built strong relationships with students, fostering an environment focused on growth and achievement. His leadership in revitalizing the middle school jazz band, taking them to regional and state competitions for the first time in years, speaks volumes. Under his guidance, students were well prepared and earned silver ratings at both competitions, a testament to the positive and motivating atmosphere he has created in the classroom. Beyond musical instruction, he has empowered students by fostering leadership within the band. At Winter Concert, students took ownership by introducing songs, further demonstrating the confidence and responsibility he instills in each and every one of them. Excellence is at the core of his teaching. He consistently challenges students to reach new heights. His passion for music education and his unwavering commitment to student success make him an invaluable asset to our school. Congratulations, Mr. Musso. And from Hancock County Technical Center, Multimedia Instructor Jamie Anderson. Mr. Anderson motivates his students daily. He has created a learning environment where his students are always set up for success. He goes above and beyond to support his students and also his student athletes. He is a fantastic teacher and coach who truly cares about his students and athletes. He brings his passion for the media industry to his Hancock County Technical students every day. They have the opportunity to put themselves into each project by choosing their focus, while building industry-ready skills. Mr. Anderson gets to know his students very well, forming lasting, positive relationships. His classroom functions like a family, with students creating individually or in pairs and then sharing work with one another. It's awesome to see the environment in action as students build their own skills while supporting one another's growth. There have been amazing projects over the years, including an end-of-year showcase where students prepare for and present to an audience. The details and final projects are always impressive. We are very fortunate to have Mr. Anderson at HCTC, bringing his lived experiences and passion for the industry to our students. His ability to mentor, challenge, connect with, and grow each student is inspirational. Congratulations, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you for that. Next, we've got special presentation.
So we have a lot of people to recognize tonight. To try to bring a little bit of order to this, let's start with Mr. Tracy, Hancock County Technical Center.
That may be a phrase that's never been uttered before. First of all, just thank you for having us. My name is Bill Tracy. I'm the director at HCTC. We're excited to be here. This year, we sent 61 students to compete at states, and 31 of them medaled, which is incredible. It just shows you the level of passion that they have and their commitment to this. It starts in October, and they work right straight through until our competition in March, and now several of them are going on. We have 15 going on to compete at nationals. But before we get them up here and have them introduce themselves, I would like to recognize our instructors who are here today. Without them, their guidance, their support, their mentorship, our students wouldn't be where they are. And it's just incredible to see that working relationship as they build and they challenge each other along the way. So if I could just have our instructors stand for a second and receive a round of applause. We also have two incredible advisors, Megan Stubbs and Tara Mason, who guide most of our work. And again, working with not only the students, but also the staff as we sometimes take on new competitions that we haven't taken on before. So I know there's a lot of recognition tonight, so I want to get our students up here. So students are going to introduce themselves, let you know what grade they're in, let you know what school they go to, what program they're in, and then what they medaled in. So students, if you want to come up and line up behind me, and then just one at a time, go up and introduce.
Hi, my name's Amelia Madigan. I'm a senior at Ellsworth High School, and I competed in chapter display and won gold.
I'm Callie Chase. I'm a senior at Sumner High School, and I also competed in chapter display and won gold.
I'm Brennan Beatty, and I also competed in chapter display and won gold. And I'm from Sumner.
You guys can just go line up in front of me. There you go.
Don't think you're getting away from the pictures.
Now just line up right here. Come back.
I'm Kaylee Clement. I'm a junior at Ellsworth High School. I won gold in career pathways and human services.
Hi, I'm Jaden Hicks. I'm a senior at Ellsworth High School. I'm in early childhood, and I won gold career pathways human services.
I'm Garrett Whitaker from Bucksport High School, and I'm a senior, and I won silver in television and video production.
I'm Ashley Sargent. I'm a senior at Bucksport High School, and I won bronze in TV and video production.
Hello, my name is Cameron Carter, and I'm a junior at MDI High School, and I won gold in Career Pathways, Industrial Engineering and Technology.
I'm Center Cannon. I go to Sumner Memorial High School. I'm a junior, and I won gold in career pathways and industrial engineering.
I'm Connor Kane. I go to MDI High School. I'm a junior. I also won gold in career pathways and industrial engineering.
My name is Donald Craig, and I'm a junior at Mount Desert Island High School. I am in diesel technology and won gold in diesel technology as well.
Hi, I'm Abigail Billings. I'm a sophomore at Sumner Memorial High School, and I'm in the Business Leadership and Hospitality program at the Technical Center, and my group of three won gold in Promotional Bulletin Board.
Hi, Bryce McAlpine, senior at Ellsworth High School, competed in automotive service technology and automotive technology program.
I'm Willa Dow. I'm a junior at MDI High School. I'm part of the Health Occupations program, and I won gold in career pathways of health sciences.
Hi, I'm Destiny Kane. I am a junior at Ellsworth High School. I'm in the Health Occupations program. I competed and won silver in state officer competition and am the current president.
Double up that line, guys, so we can get a good picture. There we go.
That a girl, Callie.
Someone want to stand on the table? You could have sat on it, I guess.
Congratulations, everyone. And you guys do not have to stay.
Mr. Frost.
Thank you, students, for coming tonight.
Yes, thank you so much. Congratulations.
And the
While we're transitioning, I'll call up Mr. Frost to do some athletic recognition. We'll just give him a minute.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mrs. Mason.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Don't forget your coffee.
What did he say?
Coffee. And they can't bring it. Right? Amy's like, you're going to have to
Have
a good night.
Now I know I can bring Marcus.
Right.
Geez,
Actually, there was.
Yeah, because there should be enough seats now.
Outside here when I got here. But maybe if you had showed up on time, had an easier.
4:15, and then I stayed after the car. I barely made it here because I had to go get dressed. It's in my sweats.
So next, under special presentation, Mr. Frost from Ellsworth High School Athletic Program.
Good evening. So I have a few coaches here and a couple of students that I'd like to recognize. So we'll start with our students. So Ann Catherine Burns, can you come on up? Ann Catherine is one of our homeschool students who swims with us. She's also doing track this spring. She won the state championship in the 100 breaststroke. I was going to say butterfly, so I'm glad I didn't guess. And she was also named the performer of the meet at the PVC championship, and has other accolades, current school record holder. So I'd like to congratulate Ann Catherine. And if you want to just, hold on.
We're so
if you
excited.
want to just say what your plans are for next year.
Hi. So I plan to continue swimming in college. I will be attending Malone University, which is in Eastern Ohio, and am planning to pursue occupational therapy.
The other student is Ella Montgomery. There's also the senior class of 2025 Rotary Honors banquet dinner tonight. So when we rescheduled the school board meeting, it kind of doubled them up. So Ella is, we believe, at that. But as you know, she's got a list of accolades, state champion in numerous events. I think she has 6 school records. Is that right, Jim? Currently, yeah. She'll certainly be one of those probably first-time ballot after 5 years to our Athletic Hall of Fame because she's had a great high school career. She plans to swim at Fordham University next year, so we wish her good luck with that. So, congratulations. We have had over the winter several coaches of the year, so I'd like to start with Jim Goodman. Jim, if you want to come up. Jim is our boys swim coach of the year for the PVC. He's been coaching our swim teams for
22 years.
22 years, back when I was 5. So, no, I'm kidding. I wish. He also won this same award last year. As you know, our boys swim program, and girls for that matter, have been really strong. The boys are back-to-back PVC champions. So what do you plan to do next year, Jim? Are you going to college anywhere? Or
Coach again.
Coach again. So congratulations to Jim Goodman, our PVC boys swim coach of the year. Sitting in the back row is Andy Pooler. Andy, if you want to come up. Andy was named the Big East Girls Coach of the Year. As most of you know, our girls basketball program had high expectations going into the season. And I think they met quite a few of those expectations, but it was using some girls that we didn't expect to see on the court maybe towards the end of the season. There was a lot of injuries, but Andy did a great job coaching throughout the season. There was many times where I would be sitting behind the bench and he'd kind of look around back at me at the end of a game because we had just won, and he had that like, how the heck did we pull that out, look on his face. So congratulations to Andy Pooler on Girls Basketball Coach of the Year.
Thank you.
And then lastly, but certainly not least, Melanie Fox and Kat Archer. If you want to come up. Yeah. Yes. Come up here. These two phenomenal coaches have been doing this for a long time, and finally we're seeing. Well, not finally. You've always been. Oh man. Whatever I say, is gonna come back. So.
And it's recorded too, Josh,
Okay.
so just
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Melody's got all the stats ready to fire.
She just said we were 6-time state runner-up before we were 3-time state champion. So, and I've been working with them for 10 years. So, and they've been coaching for 11 at the high school. 12, 11.
22 for me.
Well, yes,
12
but at
for her.
Ellsworth High School,
12.
12. So just a phenomenal job with our cheerleaders. I'm a former cheer dad, so I can joke around with them. I kind of somewhat at times know what they go through, but they were named cheering coaches of the year for Class B PVC. So congratulations to them. Also, Kat has plans for next year.
Another state championship.
Can I say it?
Oh, I'm carrying the bag. I'm carrying the bag.
Melody's going to carry the
Baby bag.
baby bag next year for Kat, who's having a future cheerleader. Little girl. Wow, almost got in trouble. So, congratulations to both of them. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Clifford has special recognition also.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Bye, Paulette.
Go, go, go.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, Jacob.
Now I want to bring up our music teacher, Mr. Calandro, to talk
Jamie!
about the Jazz State Festival and how our kids did.
Just scored a seat and there it goes.
My choice. Good evening. Forgive this. I want to read the one thing word for word so I don't miss anything. But thank you. I did just want to take a minute just to recognize again, first of all, thank you for your words and for your lovely email after the Jazz Night. We were still on a high from that. Being able to present that to so many of our community was such a thrill for the kids, so we really appreciated that. Ellsworth High School had, I would venture to say, the best showing we've had since I've been there. I've been here at least at the state championships. There are 10 possible individual state awards that they give out at the state level. It's 5 for the big bands and 5 for the combo. And Ellsworth High School had 4 of those outstanding musicianship awards out of every school in the state. We had Katie Gleason, who received 2 of them, 1 for combo and for the big band. We had Finley Harmon, who was our vocalist, who received an outstanding musicianship award too. And Felix came through big time there. Felix Markosian, for work on multiple instruments, the drums and the trumpet, also received an outstanding musicianship award. And also, he left, but I'll recognize Matt Musso and not only the Ellsworth School, you mentioned their silver ratings, which we also got at the high school level. We had a silver rating as well, but Sarah Ford, their 8th grader, received another one at the middle school level. So Ellsworth actually had 5 this past year at the States. And then I'll read this one. So Harper Turner, who is a sophomore at Ellsworth High School, who plays alto sax, oboe, piano, guitar, drums, and tenor sax. And she received what's called the Dale Huff Memorial Scholarship Award, which is given to the top overall musician in the state. They give 1 for the combos and 1 for the big bands. And I'll read this. It exemplifies elite musicianship at the highest level, along with commitment to furthering the excellence of the overall jazz program and the school community. The award was created in the memory of Maine music educator Dale F. Huff, who I just realized taught Mrs. Corson back there, way back in the day. Yeah. That was a nice little surprise. Dale Huff for his contributions to the Maine music education community and his tireless efforts to promote cohesive, system-wide K-12 music and performing arts program. This also entered Harper into a chance with the other Dale Huff recipients to receive a $10,000 scholarship at the end of the year. So I've been writing essays to back Harper up to see. So we'll find that out in June. And it was really a great day for us that day. And, also, all of those students I just mentioned will also be representing Ellsworth at the All-State, both symphonic band and concert choir in May at UMaine of Orono, and Katie and Finley also represented us at the Jazz All-State Festival back in January. So thank you. It's been a great year for our music program, and we really appreciate all of your support and all of your support. So thank you very much.
Mr. Calandro? Jamie?
Don't leave.
Yes.
While you're still at the podium, can I ask you a question?
Podium.
Can you tell us the date of the spring concert?
Yes, thank you. See, this is why we keep you around. May 20th is the state, and we will be presenting it a lot like the Jazz Night. We're trying to work to really get the collaboration now that the middle school is so on track as well. So the middle school bands and the high school bands will be performing together on May 20th at Ellsworth High School.
Yeah, so people in the community can be on the lookout
Yes.
for announcements about that.
Yes.
And the performance in this all-state thing in at Orono, that's at the Collins Center for the Arts, right?
That is at the Collins Center
Huge theater.
on May 17th, 16th, 17th, 19th, 18th, 17th, 16th, 17th.
And
that's not free though.
It's not free, but
that's not free.
but it's
No, but it's worth it, right?
That's that's an amazing
Yeah.
experience. The kids will be talking about it for months, and
Right.
you'll see 250 of the best musicians in the state all performing together after 3 rigorous days of rehearsal.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and I assume we'll see you there, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
I'm clapping again, I'm so excited.
You can.
So happy. I know.
Did I
Next
miss
up.
anything for special recognition? I think I got everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Good one.
Next up is consideration and hiring of an.
No.
Nope.
Teach with Tech presentation.
Oh, Teach with Tech. Okay, sorry.
He was
Katie
just really
Hollenbach.
excited too.
Sorry, Katie.
You're fine. If this decides to work. Okay. Do you want me to?
I was gonna say, can we tip and tell?
What's
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to tell you a little bit about some of the things that we got with our MLTI Teach with Tech grant this year. We told you at some point that we got it, but I want to show you how we are using some things in the classroom. So it's a list of everything that we got. We got glow forges, we got 3D printers, we got some tools, professional development, cameras, VR, drones, and hexbugs. I'll explain that. Supplies. Wacom tablets, microphones, and a Roland inkjet vinyl cutter, and a dust collector and downdraft table. So everything that we were able to get with this grant, and we found out after the fact that we were the 3rd highest grant that they offered to anyone in the state. So that was really awesome, and we were able to do a ton of things with all of this stuff. So. The first thing we got were some glow forges. So we got 2 more glow forges. We got 2 last year with this grant. We got 2 glow forges, and that was it. This time we got 2 plus all of this other stuff. So now we have 4 glow forges in our district, and this actually was a project I was helping Martha Baldwin, our elementary art teacher today. She has a garden club, and so they are making signs for trees, and I don't even know what all of the things were, but they're making signs and we were prototyping and seeing what they would look like with the plant's name and its Latin name, and then a picture on it of what it looks like. And so they are working on these and going to put them around the school and maybe on the trail, I think. So this was, we were working on this today, and then that is a picture from our STEM night when we had Sunshine Barrett had 3 glow forges out and having families interact and making projects at STEM night. 3D printers. We got 2 new 3D printers for the high school. They're right over here that have multi-materials, so you can print with different colors. So in the middle here are some things that we printed with multicolor. And we also got some multi-material. We already had this 3D printer on the left over at the elementary middle school, but we got the multi-materials for that so we can print in different colors, and that's really fun. So the high school, ones over at the high school are for jewelry making. So we've started kind of just testing out some earrings and things that they can do. They're really excited about diving into that. Tools-wise, we got some sanders and drills and dust collector and downdraft table in Mr. McKechnie's room at the high school for engineering classes. And so they've been working on building projects. He's also been collaborating with some other teachers and having them come in and do some projects. And so it's been a really great opportunity for them. We got some cameras. We got 10 Canon DSLR cameras. And so these are some pictures of students taking pictures. And we also got some document-style cameras, which the plan is to use them for some stop-motion videos, but we didn't get them in time for the assignment. But Mr. Ford had used one to make a video for how to use the graphing calculator, and he was able to post that on his Google Classroom for kids to refer back to. So lots of ways that we can use this technology. And these are some of the pictures that students took with some of the cameras too. We also got some virtual reality headsets. So this is, the company is Class VR, and it's very education focused and friendly. You have, you can push out the activities that you want your students to do, and they can only do those activities. And you can see in the screen here, you can see what your kids are in also and exactly what they're seeing in their headset. There's also a way for kids to interact in the world just on their Chromebook if for whatever reason they don't want to or can't handle the VR experience. You can also like walk through the world just on a screen too. And we also got some training from the company on these, and then we are doing some training for staff also. We have a training on Thursday for this. We got some drones and some hex bugs. You can see that the hex bugs are these little guys running around. And so the plan for these was to do like a predator-prey activity. Was the original or purpose of them, but we're also just kind of seeing what else we can do with them. And so you can kind of see some of the activities. These were working great for them. We did a PD today, and they were not cooperating very well. We are working through some troubleshooting, but we are doing some professional development and getting teachers used to them and seeing what they can do. And that's actually this picture down here with some teachers, and that one was cooperating. Some other ones just flew into the ceiling, and it wasn't good. We also got some Wacom drawing tablets, and this is a picture of a student using one. It's a way that students can draw and have their artwork go right to the computer. And so those are being used in digital art classes. And then we got some microphones for podcasting or recording, which we have not used those yet, but we are in the process of using those also. We also got this Roland BN220 inkjet vinyl printer, and so in the middle there you can see it working to print out some stickers for the Ellsworth Art Department. On the left are some other stickers that students have created, and this other project here was just done today. Katie Woodward is doing the career fair. And so they made thank you stickers and little bags for people who are coming. And so they printed off all of these stickers for all these bags for businesses who are coming to that event. And they came out awesome. They're really
I was
good.
gonna say.
Yeah. So we can do a lot with this that I think we're just touching the surface on what we can do. But it's a really great asset. And we also got training on this too from the company. So we need to work on training other people, but we have a few people trained so they can use it. And then, so I just wanted to show, Paul actually made this walkthrough video of our STEM night. And I just want to make sure it's on as well. And so basically, like, we couldn't do the STEM night if we didn't have this Teach with Tech grant. Just about all of the technology that we used at the STEM night was purchased with MLTI Teach with Tech grant funds. But this STEM night was awesome experience. We had, I believe, 14 businesses that participated, or organizations in our community, and it was just a great showing of our community partners, and we had over 250 people between students and families show up, and that doesn't even include the probably 50 plus volunteers and people from the businesses helping also. So this was, a great night, and again, couldn't do it without our Teach with Tech grant.
The energy there was just so amazing.
Yeah.
The kids were just brimming over with enthusiasm, and they had so many cool activities. Look, there's a drone flying around above these girls.
And those are really fun too. So that's all.
It's amazing too how much bigger it was than last year.
Yes.
Right? Because last year it was mostly in the cafeteria.
It was
It was the hallway.
Yeah.
It was actually it was in both gyms, so I only did the one gym.
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it grew a lot, and hopefully we can keep our momentum and grow some more next year. So thank you.
Any questions for Katie at all?
What exactly is a hex bug? I mean, I saw it, but what is it?
They're like those little, some of them are robots. They have little remote controls that can drive around, and some just like have a little motor in them. They just like scamper around. But the thought was to do, like, have the drones be like the birds, be a predator, and have the kids, like, control the prey and running around and trying to avoid the drone.
Oh, I love it.
They're super fun.
So I think the goal eventually is to do that with, like, a collaboration with the elementary school, so they can see those working.
I kind of want a hex bug now.
Yeah, they're great.
Thank you, Katie.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now, consideration hiring of an administrator.
So, very pleased tonight to nominate Lisa Backman as our Special Education Director for the 2025-2026 school year. We had a very large committee. I think there were 12 of us. So I feel like we had a really good process and a lot of input from staff. I always love when we can promote from within. Lisa's dedication to the school department has been long, moving into different roles when we've needed her. I will say she has embraced being interim this last month, really kind of come into her own, becoming a leader, and has already made some really great changes. I'm so excited to see where she takes us in forward momentum in a department that is certainly challenging, but the committee felt very strongly that she was the right person for the job, so I'd like to recommend her this evening.
I will make a motion to approve the Personnel Committee's recommendation to hire Lisa Backman as Special Education Director with a full-time administrator contract for the 25-26 school year as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Congratulations. I'm like, oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next, consideration and approval of disposition of surplus for policy.
Very
DN.
exciting.
Yeah.
We would love your permission to move forward with disposing of old computers at Hancock County Technical Center per the disposition policy, please.
I will make a motion to approve the disposition of old computers per policy DN as presented. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Yay, get rid of it.
Yeah, out with the old.
Done.
All right, next we have consideration of new program and courses for the Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment Committee.
So for tonight, we have course program material requests as well as new course requests at Ellsworth High School. Teach Town Encore, which is K-12 special education programming. And then for Ellsworth High School new courses, we have Intro to Teaching, Songs as Poetry, and Strategic Problem Solving. These were vetted through our process at the Curriculum Instruction and Assessment Committee.
You have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the following programs and courses as presented and recommended by the Curriculum Instruction Assessment Committee, including a new course program material request for Teach Town Encore K-12 Special Edition, and new courses for EHS for Intro to Teaching, Songs as Poetry, and Strategic Problem Solving.
A second.
Any discussion?
I would also like to take some of those classes, please.
Discussion? All those in favor? I was talking to someone recently who said that we should. Why don't high schools have like a class for people kids who want to become teachers? I said, well, I think we're going to have one soon.
It's starting to become quite
Yeah.
popular at the high school level.
Yeah.
And then the hope is kids will be enthused. And then if they want to do early childhood, go to HCTC and specialize in that. But if they want to do middle school or high school, this would be a good foundation for them to kind of get their feet wet and learn about it.
Yeah.
And then come back and teach here.
Yeah.
That would be lovely.
I know we've had opportunities for through our internship program. In fact, my older son did an internship at EEMS, and he's now on course to become a teacher himself.
And you know what I think about that, Mr. Marcosi?
What do you think
Send
about
him
that?
right back to Ellsworth.
All right. Next, we are on item 6, approval of cooperative teams.
So we have two separate items under this. So becoming more and more prevalent throughout Maine for a variety of reasons, is the opportunity for high schools to join into a cooperative team agreement. This is sanctioned by the Maine Principals Association and does require board action on our athletic department's behalf. Mr. Frost has worked hard on both of these agreements and is here to answer questions if you have any. First, we simply did not have enough athletes to field 2 teams for softball. And so in order to provide opportunities for all of our Ellsworth kids, we did need a few more athletes to be able to do both JV and varsity. So we would like George Stevens Academy to formally be accepted into our Ellsworth High School softball program for the 25 season. And then also, we would like your permission to join into an agreement for the 25-26 school year, which is next year. Softball is just for this year. Hockey would be for next year, because we are more and more getting requests for students that live in Ellsworth and want to attend Ellsworth High School to have the opportunity to play hockey. And so in order to play hockey, we would have to join a cooperative program. We simply do not have enough students to do that, nor do we have the facility. Hampden Academy had reached out and talked to us about that. And Josh and the Hampden Academy athletic director are in agreement that we could join with them for next year. So looking for your approval for both of these. And if you have any questions, Mr. Frost is here.
Just one quick question, Josh. Does GSA not currently have a softball program?
They did last year. They only had 5 or 6 girls show interest this year.
So this is the way we can kind of help each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they reached out, and they only have 3 girls that are currently playing with us. So 3, because it's obviously they got to get here.
There's some logistical challenges for both of these programs.
Yeah, it's
right?
like us with football, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Ellsworth,
Sumner,
Sumner, Narragansett. They got to get here to participate. So
Yeah, awesome. And so both of these are just for like one season. I see GSA doesn't really have a timetable.
I would put that on there, please, when you make the motion. Add for softball, just add for the 2025 season.
Okay.
yeah, for softball just this year. For hockey, just like with our football agreement, as long as it's working, we hope to continue that relationship.
Okay. So the 25, so in the one for hockey, we wouldn't necessarily have to have the 25-26
I think,
season,
I
or-
think put that for now, and I think we
Can
come
we-
back to you to see how it goes after
I was
a
just gonna
year.
ask, is that gonna be revisited?
It should
like,
be.
sort of?
As we get,
I
like,
think it should be.
football's been going for 10+ years, right? And
Yeah.
that relationship has been all along the same schools.
Yeah.
But yeah, for hockey, if we're just starting it, it should be
Yeah.
for 1 year,
Yeah.
revisit.
Kind of like a trial
Yep.
run. So Josh, does this, I know you said that Blue Hill, it's only adding 3 additional softball players, but does that give us what we need as well for,
Yeah.
for our teams?
Yeah, it allows us to have 2 full
Awesome.
teams. We have a team of JV, which is, I would say, probably 2 or 3 sophomores, and the rest are all freshmen.
Yeah.
And then our varsity, which is a team of 12, you know, in mix of grade levels. So it's not moving students up too quickly to a
Right.
level that they shouldn't be at.
Right.
But it allows
Right.
us.
And we don't have that JV program, we don't have a competitive varsity program.
Right, and we've seen that with football, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And now that we do have kind of a JV football team, we have a competitive
Yeah,
varsity.
Awesome, thank you.
All right.
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to approve the cooperative team agreement to allow GSA to play with the Ellsworth High School softball program for spring 2025, and to approve the cooperative team agreement to allow Ellsworth High School students to play with Hampden Academy hockey program for the 2025-26 season.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
Josh.
Frost.
Thanks, Josh.
On to policies.
Yes, first read of policies.
So first read of policies, you did have these in your board packet. So BEDL is a revisit, adjournment of school board meetings. We did change the time because we had been doing that from 8:30 to 8. We can go beyond 8, but it has to require a vote of the board, and this policy hadn't been reviewed since 2017. And then BIA, new school board orientation, we made one edit to that as well, to that policy.
Okay.
I will make a motion to approve the first read of the following amended policies as presented and recommended by the policy committee, including BEDL, adjournment of school board meetings, and BIA, new school board member orientation.
Get second.
Discussion? All in favor? Next is first read of 2 other policies, right?
Yes, but these are policies that we are formally reviewing with no change. So the policies listed, BID, school board member compensation, and GBJ, personnel records and files, are policies that were last reviewed in 2017 and 2018 respectively. We reviewed those and have no recommended changes.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the review and no changes to BID and GBJ as presented and recommended by the policy committee.
No second.
Discussion? All in favor? All right. Next up is second read and adoption of policies.
So the next batch of policies are for second read, so these did not change from the first read. These bring us in alignment with the 2020 regulation update.
So I will make a motion to approve the second read and adopt the following policies as amended and recommended by the policy committee, including AC, non-discrimination and equal opportunity and affirmative action, ACAA, harassment and sexual harassment of students, ACAAR, student discrimination, harassment, and Title VII sexual harassment complaint procedures, ACAB, harassment and sexual harassment of school employees, ACABR, employee discrimination, harassment, and Title VII sexual harassment.
9.
Sorry, 9.
Both those titles are
9.
Title IX.
Both of them are 9. Sexual harassment complaint procedures. Obviously, I missed the section of school on
Roman
numerals.
I'll second.
Okay.
Also, that was a lot of words in
It was a
in
lot.
letters.
Yeah. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Consideration and ratification of a collective bargaining agreement.
So very happy to report that Personnel Committee and I, in collaboration with the Specialist Unit, are ready to present to you a new contract for the 2025 through 2028 school year for our Specialist Unit, which encompasses our 504 coordinator nurses, educational psychologists, OT, PT, speech therapists. Very excited and thought we had really great, healthy discussions. And the Specialist Unit did ratify this contract unanimously today. So excited about that.
Awesome. So I will make a motion to ratify the collective bargaining agreement between Ellsworth School Department and the Ellsworth Education Association Specialty Unit as recommended by the Personnel Committee.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Awesome, thank you.
Can I
And
just
thank
say,
you.
I would like to express my deep thanks to the members of this unit for their professionalism and their dedication to the mental and physical health of our student population. Sitting around the table with them, you can really tell how much they care, and I'm very grateful. I know we all are. So we have one member sitting in the back of the room there, Mr. Merrill. Thank you very much.
He loves getting called out.
All right. Next is consideration and approval of FY26 budget.
Oh, I feel like we've been doing this for
You have.
forever.
Months and months.
You have.
So I want to thank, first and
Thanks,
foremost, Nikki, as well as my finance team. Carolyn Heller and Amy Atherton have been working right alongside with me on this for the last several months. This has been a labor of love this year to try to get this to where we thought we could accomplish our goals while also being fiscally responsible to the city. So tonight, we are going to run through a brief presentation. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to belabor every slide because all of you attended at least one of the presentations. So you've seen it, but I think for the public at home tonight to understand, I think it's important to run through. So I'm going to talk about quickly timeline, cost center details with some of the major changes in the budget, future planning, and show a little bit of the per pupil expenditures. In looking at our timeline, as I said, we have been working on this since October, pushed staff to start sooner this year. And of course, our budget timeline culminates with the famous vote that we have to have in going to the citizens for approval and validation of our budget in June. So we have talked about this a little bit. I think it's important for the public to understand our demographics because it is not as simple as X number of students, X number of staff. There are complexities that come with a system our size and with the demographics that we have. These are our October 1 counts, as you saw, and what's really telling about these is when you go to the subgroups. And so really, when you start digging into the demographics, it starts painting a picture that's beyond just total number of students. So you can see our jump in our economically disadvantaged students. That is a huge jump in a school system in a year. For us to go to over 100 up from the year prior is a big shift. And as you know, it is incumbent upon us in the school department to worry about the whole child. And with that comes a lot of other layers of educating when kids are hungry or worried about where they're going to sleep at night or if they have clothing for the week. That does kind of affect, imagine that, their ability to learn and tend to at school. So that's something that we've had to grapple with. And our special education counts have remained pretty stable, but I thought that was important. Multi-language learners and our homeless population under the Homeless Assistance Act, known as McKinney-Vento, also paints a picture and shows you our district totals for ML, as well as the jump we've had in our students who qualify under McKinney-Vento as well. So as we talk about our overarching philosophy in the budget, I've talked about this for the last couple of years, really looking to provide equity. So if you are a grade 3 student and you have classroom teacher A, we don't want you to have a completely different experience than if you're in homeroom classroom C. We want there to be some equity in the opportunities that our students have. We also need to always be thinking not just about current year, but our future and where we want to go and how we can accomplish our strategic planning. We've really talked a lot about, it's kind of been embedded throughout tonight. Recruiting an educator workforce is going to start to get more and more complicated. Numbers of students attending post-secondary to go into the field of education, whether it's as a teacher or as an administrator, are dwindling. And so really starting to try to be strategically thinking about how can we retain our workforce that we currently have so they don't want to go elsewhere, but also how can we recruit. Whole student, we just talked about. Us really trying to think about how we can educate the whole student. And then finally, what data do we look at that helps us make data-driven decisions? Challenges and threats to our budget, always unfunded mandates that come through legislation we have to think about. We continue, even though I think we've made great strides the last couple of years, we continue to talk about our facilities and our needs at our aging facilities. Increasingly complex student and family needs, and then the decreased workforce. Those are all threats.
Amy, really quickly, and obviously we don't need to dig into this too much, just probably a simple yes or no. Are we going to, I know you've said this once, but I know things have changed since then in regards to federal funding, are we concerned at all about that being a threat to our budget at this point in time?
Yes and no, I would say. I think not knowing is the threat right now. But no, again, none of us in Hancock County right now are making huge decisions based on the turmoil that's going on. So no, we have not made
Excellent.
adjustments.
Thank you.
Cost center details. So wanted to show people pictorially the percentages in a pie graph of how the different cost centers in our budget are funded. Sometimes people say, well, you know, the school department is top heavy, it's all administration. And when you really break this down and look at this, you can see that 51, if I do math really quick and if I can read, you know, over 50% is directly to students with the blue and the red. But that doesn't even, it's actually bigger than that because the bubble goes around and CTE gets added to that, other instruction, student and staff services, and then some would argue that our food program and our facilities and transportation are also a part of that. So a majority of our budget is actually going directly to our students. As we look at each cost center, want to highlight quickly the changes that are in each cost center in the budget. First and foremost, regular instruction. This is where you see the bulk of the change in our budget. We are really trying to push our strategic plan and feedback that we're getting from the community. So this budget does support the additional 2 pre-K classrooms that will be at the Morse Center. So that does come with us hiring staffing for those rooms as well as outfitting the curriculum and furniture and supplies for that room. This gets us a gifted and talented teacher for the high school and middle school to try to help fulfill that legislative requirement. It expands our physical education offerings at our K-8 school by 0.5, with that other half of a position helping with co-curricular activities. This provides an ed tech support for our alternative ed and First Academy offerings at the high school. As I talked about at City Council, we thought initially we would add another teacher. We may long-term want to do that, but we felt like we needed to kind of really talk about how these programs work in collaboration with each other and see data for a couple of years before we make that investment. This budget also gets us updated curriculum materials. You've approved at the board level budget materials for updated science, world language materials, and texts that haven't been updated in about a decade. So this budget makes an investment in those curriculums. It gets us new VPA equipment in terms of replacement of instruments for our VPA program as well as our ceramics program at the high school. In doing this, we also have been thoughtful and are always looking ahead at enrollment trends, and we did identify that next year's grade 2 and 4 class, we would reduce an instructor position at that level. Those actually worked out because we had resignations there. So some people have asked, have you actually cost people jobs at this time? No, we have not. We were able to reduce where we had resignations, which actually worked out for us. In the area of special education, you'll see the 2 major changes are increase in tuition. We simply have to provide an education for all Ellsworth residents. And when they're not successful at our school and need to be placed residentially, then we do, and it is incumbent upon us to pay that tuition. And then also, we are adding a board-certified behavior analyst to help us district-wide with the changing behaviors that we're seeing in students. Career technical education, the only major change to this budget was the upper lot paving project that we were able to add in between version 3 and version 4 of the budget process, which I'm excited about that for them to get that done. In other instruction, the other instruction cost center of the budget is your co-curricular and sports programs, and then after-school programming and the transportation costs associated with those programs. Mainly what you see of this is an increase in costs for everything conducting these, whether it's renting a porta potty or paying an official, paying a judge, how we pay our co-curricular stipends, but then also expanding career and technical education and Skills USA, hopefully into our middle school. Student and staff support. This budget does help us get instructional technology district-wide. We talked a little bit about making an investment to outfit every classroom across the district with upgraded instructional technology so that we are not piecemealing things. Our equipment is so old in many cases we can no longer repair or replace parts for them. We did come up with a proposal that Finance Committee heard that would include us possibly either financing this over the next couple of years and creating a reserve account to help pay for that, or if we get a grant that we applied for that would require a 15% match. That would be how we would accomplish this, but that would be a huge lift for us as a district to upgrade our facilities. And then also you'll see student and staff support, additional professional learning funding throughout. In system administration, no major changes. I will say, when people see there's a percentage increase in this cost center, it is 100% because of the additional administrative assistant that we will be hiring in this budget that will carry forward into next budget, which is the majority of that increase. In school administration, we are adding an additional assistant principal. This says pre-K through 2. We are looking for 3 assistant principals to do a model where we do kind of a school within a school. We will have 1 overarching principal and 3 assistant principals, 1 for pre-K to 2, with the 4 additional pre-K classrooms. That is going to be a substantial lift, especially over 2 sites, because we will be overseeing the program at the Moore Center. We would have 1 grades 3 through 5 and 1 grades 6 through 8. We believe that this is essential to meet the ever-changing needs of our families and our students, and also to help increase transparency and communication with staff and also families as well. Transportation, this does provide for us purchasing new bus routing software, which will enable us to, in real time, outline if we're running the most efficient bus routes. It would allow for parents to be able to go on an app and see where their bus is in real time, so they will know if there's delays, things of that nature. This also includes us purchasing 2 buses through the funding formula, as well as 2 vans. If you do recall, we were asked about researching piggybacking on to the enterprise agreement that the city had jumped up on. I will give kudos to my team for spending a lot of time really digging into that and researching that. And as of right now, we are not recommending we do that. There were a lot of different loopholes that we would have had to fulfill to join into that, including additional insurance because we transport minors, which adds a whole other layer of complexity that the city does not have to deal with. So we did do our due diligence and look into that, but as of right now, that is not a change that we're going to make. In facilities and maintenance, there's a percentage increase there, about $259,000 in decrease. This is because we are starting to see the results of TELP. We are going to be coming to you, I'm hoping at the May meeting, to do a TELP Phase 2 so that we can accomplish our next round of projects through that process.
And if you want to see what's been done, there's a beautiful poster, at least at EEMS, that shows some of that stuff.
Yes. Debt service, you'll see our Avery Lane payment will begin on that, and then also our first payment of the TELP 1 will come to fruition and start making payments on that as well. In all other expenditures, which is predominantly our food service, you'll see increase there because of the increase in food costs overall. And then our old software that we're currently using is ancient, obsolete, so it does propose new nutrition software. Our adult education budget is not a part of the general fund budget. It is its own category, but you will see the total costs on the bottom of the sheet so that you can see that. We did have some fund balance that we're able to use to help offset that cost for that part of the budget as well. When you go and look at our fixed costs, I think something that's really important for people to understand is our fixed costs are things we can't really change. Got to heat the building, got to pay contracts, have to pay tuition, need phones. You know, those are things that we have to pay regardless. So those things are listed out for you. And when you really break it down, you'll see that almost 91% of our budget is fixed costs, with only 9.3% being variable costs. On the next page, you'll see either lost positions or unmet requests. So unmet requests are things that were talked about that we just decided moving forward, either it wasn't the right time or maybe not yet. So we've already talked about grade 4 and grade 2. I think it's important to note that we did try 3 new programs through Hancock County Technical Center for medical assisting, firefighting, and EMT. And we did not have enough students at the high school level from across the county enroll in those programs to run those. So very sadly, those programs will not be starting in the fall. So even though we did receive subsidy for those, the lack of enrollment did not exceed the amount of subsidy we received for that. Paving, another round of paving at Ellsworth High School. We're going to hit pause on that. The area that was next up, when I looked at it, just decided that it was not something in this fiscal round that we should move forward on. Equipment through facilities, already talked about First Academy, adding another instructor, hitting pause on that and waiting. I think you will continue to hear about the need for additional administrative assistance for our special education teachers for all of the work they have to do that other teachers don't necessarily have to do in terms of scheduling of appointments, communication with families, and the paperwork requirements that they have. 2 flooring projects that were in the budget, one at HCTC and one at EEMS for the library. We've hit pause on those as of right now. And then major equipment purchases for the athletic department were all some things that had been asked for that we did not move forward on in this budget. Moving forward, a few areas that we really need to start thinking about, even if it's not for FY27, but over the next several years as we work for strategic planning. First and foremost, our bus garage lease does expire next year. And so there is a lot of chatter about what we should do with that. Hancock County Technical Center and adult education both have growing pressures and requests from the community for workforce development. So we need to think about those 2 things moving forward. We have the FY28 legislative mandate for 3 and 4-year-old case management for special education students at those age levels that we need to start preparing for long term. Expanding virtual academy and alternative education, recruitment and retention of our educator workforce, and continued safety preparedness and budget updates in that area. Once again, we started talking about this a couple of years ago, and we've gained a little bit of ground, not a ton, but I do want to show, and I think it's important, the DOE each year puts out the prior year's fiscal year per pupil expenditures. And so when you look at the statewide average for 2024's budget was $20,139. And we, in some of the districts that we looked at, were at $17,530. And I think what's important for people to understand is that even though we've had increases the last couple of years, we were behind. And so systems continue to add as we've added, and we're still behind state average. And we're behind other area schools that we compete with for tuition dollars, but also for recruitment. So I've provided for you the figures per pupil for Hancock County school departments. But I also, the city manager asked me to look at like school departments of Orono and Skowhegan that he thought were more comparable to us as a community, both in size and their overall community, not just the school community. And so you'll see when you look at this, the closest that we've come is to Brewer down the road, being $300 per student, but we continue to fall short of where others are in this area. So I say that, some people think it's great that we're a bargain for how good we are. I think it's something to really keep in our forefront as we move forward, and think about, as Casey Hansen said last year, I'm not sure that that is something we should be saying that we're proud of, as we look to try to change our ever-changing community needs in the world of education. I think it's important for us to look at that.
Yeah. When you think about, though, the size of our budget, right? Like, how much more it could be if we were at that $20,000 level.
Yeah, for sure. Also wanted to show you, my team pulled together the percentage increase budget comparison from FY15, which was of course when we left the RSU, to our proposed FY26. So you could see the trends, but then also our percentage increase from the prior year on the bottom. What's really interesting about this is I know it's been extremely stressful the last couple of years having the increases that we've had. But even with those major increases, our average is still between 4.5 and 5% between the two, looking at that. Because we had those years that we were so low, you know, we've had to make up ground, and now I feel like we're coming and evening things out a little bit. But I think it's just really important for us to look at the big picture and see that on average, we're actually very reasonable in light of the fact that our per pupil is much lower than other places. Did talk a little bit in my budget presentations about the revenues, which you'll see on this handout that we provided to you. It's the white handout across the bottom. So revenues range from state subsidy, our tuition, CTE agreed upon assessment per pupil, all of those things. And really at the end of the day, what that brought us to is our grand total local appropriation for the FY26 budget is 5.09%. Budget to budget, we're at 7.54%. I feel really good about the 5.09%. I feel like we held the line on some things and made cuts in some things, whereas we were able to make changes and improve things in other areas that we need to. So I feel really good about this budget. Also, if you look at this handout in your packet, this is for you to use in case you get questions from the community. I want to thank Nikki for putting this together, and Carolyn and Amy for providing the information for this. This is going to be your cheat sheet along with the white one-pager that I gave you, so that if citizens ask you specific questions, you can refer to this. We also put in your packet the two handouts that were given out at City Council. So if you could keep those folders so that as you get questions and as we go through the approval process, you're able to use those for anything. And then as we start moving towards that June budget referendum, hopefully you'll have what you need to help educate citizens about this. So at this time, if you have any questions about the budget, that was quick. But because we've done it a couple of times already, didn't think we needed to sit forever.
I just think the work that was put into this, starting all the way in October, we're really thinking about it before October, right? Like, it's like you finished the budget last year and you're already thinking about the next year. I think it's just incredible, and I think also it's worth noting for those that didn't get to see the presentation that we were lucky enough to have some of our insurance rates come in lower than anticipated, but instead of putting back in some of these things that we all really believe in, to be fair and fiscally responsible, you went the other direction and let that be lower increase than what it would have been, so.
Any other questions?
We have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I make a motion to approve the Ellsworth School Department FY26 budget and authorize the superintendent to submit to Ellsworth City Council.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Awesome.
Yay!
Thank
Yep.
you.
So
So-
speaking of
Send it
city
along.
council,
So
I-
city council will be Monday night, a week from yesterday, 21st.
Yep.
6 o'clock. That is when city council will formally, hopefully, pass our budget. And then that will enable us to meet our timeline to go to voter referendum as scheduled in June.
Excellent.
And I'd like to express my appreciation for the process that we underwent with city council. There were many Friday morning finance committee meetings that Amy attended, and I believe Carolyn did as well, and Amy Atherton. And I went to one or two of them, but really all the heavy lifting was done by you and your team. And then the budget workshops that we presented at city council, you presented, I should say. We were, some of us were just potted plants sitting behind you, but.
I love my potted plants.
But I think the council really listened carefully and asked a lot of really great questions and challenged us on some things. But we've reached a point now, they're going to be voting on Monday, but I think we feel that we've got it to the point where they feel supportive. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Next is, where are we here?
Item 11.
11, consideration and approval of full-time administrator contract extensions with possible executive session.
So this is your choice. We don't have to go into executive session for this unless you have something you want to talk about. But tonight, I would recommend that you move forward with extending administrative contracts.
I'll make a motion to approve full-time administrative contracts in accordance with the terms and conditions of employment as presented and recommended by the superintendent.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, and then we have another,
That's it.
that's it for that.
Yeah.
And then we have calendar and announcements. The next city council meeting, as Amy just mentioned, is this coming Monday, April 21st at 6 PM right here. Following that, we have a personnel committee meeting Friday, May 2nd at Avery Lane at 9 AM. Facilities and Transportation Committee meeting Monday, May 5th, also at Avery Lane at 9:30 AM. Finance Committee meeting Monday, May 5th, that's Cinco de Mayo. And that's at 10:30 at Avery Lane with, no, I won't say that.
You won't say that.
No. Policy Committee meeting Monday, May 12th at 4:15 at Avery Lane. And turning the page here, we've got Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment Committee meeting Monday, May 19th at 4:30 PM at Avery Lane. And then finally, our next school board meeting is May 13th, Tuesday night, right here at City Hall Council Chambers at 6 PM. And with that, brings us to adjournment.
Well, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Do we not have a workshop this month?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. I was just making sure I didn't miss it.
Mhm.
Didn't miss it.
No, it's always good to check.
Having no further business, I make a motion that we adjourn the board meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.